Hey everyone, it's Kaylee here with MicroSurvey, and in today's video I'm going to take a few minutes and dissect the STAR NET listing tree, and I'm going to show you how it can be a useful tool to be able to navigate through your adjustment output and be able to troubleshoot your results easier.
So I have my STAR NET program already open, and I have a project imported that has a mix of both GNSS and total station data in it. Now, once I run an adjustment, I get my output window here on the right-hand side of the screen, and this has a ton of information all related to my project adjustment output. So this little button here opens up the listing tree. Now, these are the options that I have configured in my program, but if you go to Project Options and click under Listing File, you can customize what data in your listing output shows up based off of your specific needs. So here's how you do that. So the thing that I love about using the listing tree is that it acts as a tool to help me quickly navigate through all this output data. So instead of having to scroll for ages and trying to find a certain piece of information that I need, or I'm trying to troubleshoot, I can just simply click on the listing tree headings, and this acts as a direct shortcut to the relevant section. Now I'm just going to quickly cruise through these sections and give you an overview of each one and what that information might be useful for. Summary of files used and option settings. This is summary information that a client might want to review, or that you could do a quick scan of if you needed to come back to this project in a couple years, and it would give you an idea as to what was going on in the project. Summary of the controlling stations. This is just a summary of the stations used in the network. The adjustment statistical summary. So this is a more detailed version of the processing summary that you typically see on the left-hand side of the program. Basically just a permanent record of the adjustment. So these three listing options are all meant just to be used as a basic and quick summary, an overview either for your own personal review or to give a client specific information. Okay, so the next section is the adjusted station information. So this is just going to give some further geodetic information about all of the stations. And the options under this section are going to depend on how you have your project options configured. So in mine, we have coordinate changes from entered provisionals. So this is typically used in monitoring applications. So you would have base points here that you're comparing the coordinates to and analyzing the deltas. We have the adjusted coordinates. This shows your final result. We have the adjusted positions and ellipsoid heights. So this is useful if you need to see the latitudes and longitudes. Convergence angles and grid factors at stations. Just another option available depending on what you need for your project. Okay, so then now we're going to move into the adjusted observation and residuals section. So this section is what makes STAR NET so easy to find mistakes. This allows you to see the difference between your initial output and your final adjusted result, and it is a very powerful tool for troubleshooting. The listing will break things down into the distinct different types of measurements in your project. So we have the adjusted coordinate observations, adjusted measured angle observations, adjusted measured distance observations, adjusted zenith observations, adjusted GPS vector observations, and the GPS vector residual summary. Okay, so if we just take a look here at the GPS vector residual summary, you can see that you can have your options configured so that the columns are sorted by the highest residual. So this makes it super quick and easy to find out where any issues might be. So this will also tell you what data file and what line in your project that you can find the error in. And you can simply click on it and it takes you directly to that piece of information in the input data. Okay, so you then have the option to maybe comment that line out, rerun the adjustment, and then see if it passes after that. Under here, we have the adjusted bearings and horizontal distances. So this is just some more geodetic information. And then here, the last section, we have error propagation. So this is important because it gives you not only the coordinates, but it also assigns numbers to rate the quality of the coordinates. So we have the station coordinate standard deviations, the station coordinate error ellipses, relative error ellipses, positional tolerance check, the final check, and it also shows dimensions of the error ellipses. So how strong are your coordinates? So this is one of the main benefits of using least squares instead of conventional methods for computing adjustments, because it not only gives you the adjusted coordinates, but it also assigns a rating to the quality of the adjusted coordinates. So you can choose whether to look at the standard deviations or the error ellipse dimensions to determine the quality of your adjustments. You also get the choice of turning on the relative error ellipses, which is a measurement of the strength of the connection between the different stations.
Thank you so much for tuning in to today's video. I hope you enjoyed learning about the STAR NET listing tree and that you found this information useful. If you have any questions about STAR NET or the STAR NET listing tree, please feel free to reach out. Until next time, happy least squares adjusting.